Prime factorization is what we'll be exploring today. And prime factorization is a process by which we take a look at a given number. For example, let's start off with the number 16. And what I want to do with the given numbers, I break them down into multiplication problems and see what kind of factors they have. We said factors are what? The numbers that are multiplied to get your product. I want to break them down. I want to break 16 down so I have the factors and all of those factors are prime. Now, what we're going to use here are something called factor trees. Okay? So the first step, anytime we want to use prime factorization, is you need to give me two factors that I can multiply together that will give me 16. Any of them will work. You probably want to stay away from 1 times 16 if it's a composite number. DeKayla, 8 times 2 will work. Okay? That's where I start. Now, what I recommend to students is if you see a prime number, you can go ahead and just circle it because then you're done. Between the 8 and the 2, on that list that we did yesterday, prime numbers from 1 to, did we go to 40? Do you see any numbers on your list that are up there? Say? Sure, I could, but I'm not there yet. I'm asking if there are any prime numbers. Is 8 prime? Oh, yeah. Is 2 prime, Alexis? So I'm done with the 2, because really all I could do with the 2 is go 2 times 1 or 1 times 2. That means that it's prime. So I'm done with that 2. Now, Zay, with the 8, you said 4 times 2? Yeah. So there's another 2. Circle it. And then? Now, once I no longer have any numbers that I need to break down, it's done. But there's one finishing touch that we need to do. I like to rewrite them. How many circled 2's do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Put them in order. Since they're all 2's, there's really no order to be had. Now, if you want to get really fancy with it, how could you clean that up? Instead of saying 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, Carlos? No, 8's not prime. They all have to be prime. Frank? 2 to the 4th power. I've got 2 as my base number, and there are 4 of them. And that's that. You can check it as well. Larissa? Here, let's do a quick review. Real quick, Larissa. Prime numbers I'll be looking for 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 21, 22, 23, 27, 29, 31, 33, 35, 37. So you might want to get those somewhere and write them down somewhere so that you have them handy, so that when you see those, you automatically circle them because you know there's not really anything else you can do with them. So I'll give you a minute to do that. Well, let's do another one together. 36. We're going to do the prime factorization of 36. Now remember, the first step is to give me any 2 factors I can multiply to get 36. Again, Probably want to stay away from 1 times 36. I mean, we could use it, but Faith. Sure, 6 times 6. It's the first place to start. That's fine. Now, the 6 is even, so I know it's not prime. It's not on my list. I'm not going to circle it. So what two factors can I use to give me 6 that aren't 1 times 6? There's Rihanna. 3 times 2. And as I look at 3 and 2, are either one of them on my list of prime numbers? Desriana? Which one? They both are, so I'm going to circle them both. That one is finished. Well, if the first 6 was 3 times 2, okay, so it's finished. I just have to tidy it up. In order, how many 2s? And 2 3s. Okay. Tidy that up. How so? Say. Very good. 2 to the second power times 3 to the second power. Okay? Yeah? Try 20. Okay, watch. Where are we going to start? Any suggestions? Raya? 5 times 4. Did anyone use 2 times 10? Okay. No, it's okay. It doesn't matter as long as what you use gives you 20. So we'll use 5 times 4. How about this? And we'll do the 2 times 10 over here. We'll do them at the same time and see if we get the same thing. Now, 5 and 4. Are either of these on my list? Yes. 5. What does it mean if I circle it? I don't have to do anything more to it. When I get my bottom line down here, that 5 is going to be down there somewhere. Okay? So 2 and 10 over here. Either one of these on my list? The 2. All right, back to here. What can I multiply together to give me 4? Right. 2 times 2. And I know that those are on my list. So over here, 2 times 2 times 5, if I want to clean it up even more, how many 2's do I have? 2 to the second power times 5. Now let's check the 2 times 10. How are we going to break down the 10? Either way. All right, so over here, in order, I've got 2 2's and a 5. Clean it up. If your integers, if your factors are not in order, it's going to be wrong. To be honest with you right now, you have your assignment tomorrow, and you do 5 times 2 squared, it's going to be wrong. Put them in order. Carlos. Because I'm in charge, I'm the boss, and I say they have to be in order. Because this is a method that we are going to use not just today, but we are also going to use it the next day, the day after that, and putting the factors in order is going to help us for what we do in the future. Do you have a crystal ball somewhere I don't see? No. So you can't see into the future. I can. I know what's coming. So trust me. Just do what I say. I'm happy. You're happy. Yes. Yes, that's what order is. Yes, that kind of order. Not my order, not my special order of the day, not how I see the universe. No. Least to greatest. Okay? What did you choose for 80 to start with? 8 times 10. Now, the more you do these, the more you're just going to realize that there are certain numbers that will bring you certain factor combinations. It's almost, well, about a month away from Halloween, right? 8 is what I like to call the three-headed monster. Because traditionally we say it's 4 times 2, right? Or 2 times 4. But what's 4? 4 is just another 2 2s. So I like to say 2 times 2 times 2. I mean, why not just, if we see an 8, we know it's the three-headed monster. Okay? You do see where we got that from, don't you? Because normally we'd say 8 is 4 times 2, and then we go and we say 2 times 2 anyway, right? So we still get our 3 2s. And then the 10. It's 2 and 5. Now, if I keep up with my circling, and I circle all the prime factors, when I clean it up at the end, I count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4 2s, and the 5. I've got multiple 2s, 4s specifically, and the 5. 2 to the 4th power times 5. Some people have said you can check it. Absolutely, you can check it. First of all, check and make sure that the base numbers, I mean the 2 and the 5, not the 4. The 4 is an exponent. Make sure that these are on your list. And you can always go back and check it. What's 2 times 2? 4. 4. 5. 4 times 5 is 20. What's 4 times 20? 80. If you can go back, multiply it back again, you should get the number you started with. If I had 2 to the 3rd power, and I multiply it to 5, I don't get 80. I get 40. 2 to the 3rd power, we said, was the three-headed monster, right? 8 times 5 is 40. $100. So far, so good. Desmond, what did you use? 50 times 2. Look at that. And then we can go ahead and circle the 2, right? And then for 50, what did you use? 25 times 2. Circle that other 2. And then the 25 is? Nothing left to break down, right? So 100 would be, how many 2s did I have? How many 5s? Simplify. Just simplify in your head. 2 squared is what? 4. 5 squared is, what's 4 times 1? What's 4 times, whoops, 4 times 25 is 100. So yeah, that definitely works. 2 squared, 5 squared. Okay, yes? Closer. Okay, so 87, what are we going to use to start off with? Mariah? Just circle it, so that's prime. How do you know for sure? You ran through your tests. You went through the test for 2, right? It was not even. You went through the test for 3, right?
No, it's 3. It's 3 times.
Oh, so when you go through your test for 3, 8 plus 7 is 15. It's got to be divisible by 3. And if you don't know, what do you have to do? Let's divide that by 3 and say, I think we did this same one yesterday. 3 times 29. 3 is on my list. Would 29 be on my list? It's not hard. You just have to look at it and be sure. Those of you that are using your assignment notebooks and the times tables in there, some of you act like it's a life preserver. It's going to save you from the sharks in the sea. The only thing that's going to save you from the sharks in the sea is what you've got upstairs. Because you're not always going to have that with you. You're not always going to be able to scan that grid to find where is 87, like you're looking through a Where's Waldo book. We did the same one yesterday, and people still fell into the same trap. Okay, you know why, Carlos? Because when you use your assignment notebook for your multiplication tables, you are refusing to think. When you refuse to think, you refuse to remember. See, it didn't ring a bell with half the people that it was 87. Like, oh yeah, I saw that one, because you didn't put much thought into it the day before. You looked at it and said prime, and that was over. So it's one thing to use the assignment notebook multiplication table as like a backup if you need it for emergency purposes only. But we just went through, you have those tools in your head now. Those civilians, I wouldn't expect you to know that right away, but I do expect you to know that since we did the divisibility rules. We didn't even have to go that far to figure it out. So you have to be careful. 500. It's all about chopping down that big tree. Some of you look at that right away and you run scared, but give me two numbers that you can multiply together to get 500. Caleb, 5 times 100. Circle the 5. Now for the 100, and we did 100 already. Zay.
25 times 4.
Sure. And when I do that, I get my 2 2s. I get my 2 5s. And when I clean it up, 2 squared times how many 5s? Zay? How many 5s?
3.
And if you think about it logically, the prime factorization for 100 was 2 squared times 5 squared. That gave you 100. So 100 to 500, you've got to multiply by another 5. Do we have an extra 5 here? Yeah. We had 3 5s instead of 2. I'm going to challenge you to think. I want you to be able to think. If that makes this class hard, then I apologize. Well, not really. I'm not sorry. Liam, I got taken care of before he left. Worksheet 6-2, the one I just handed. You're going to do numbers 21 to 32, the ones at the bottom. Find the prime factorization of each number. Now, your work in the form of the factor tree should be on a separate sheet that you have with the assignment when you present it tomorrow. Okay? If you want, on the worksheet, if you want to put underneath, like for number 21, it's 25. What is the prime factorization of 25? Which is what when you tidy it up? So go right ahead and put down 5 to the second power right there. If you want to put the actual prime factorization, not the tree, but the present left underneath the tree, all wrapped up and tidy with a nice little bow, then you can do that on the worksheet. But that's, I still need to see your sheet with the factor trees. Are we clear?
Yes, Mr.
I would rather you don't do it on the back.